Good evening, money magnets. It's Uncle Chad is here, and boy oh boy do we have some stuff to talk about today. As you can see on the daily chart here, big body red candle, which is pretty rare nowadays. As far as the plan for today, it was pretty straightforward. I wrote here I need to see 638 or 636 fail as support to be bearish to put lower targets in play. And I wrote if 640 clears, 642 and 644 incoming. You can look towards the 15-minute chart. We had a breakdown right there on that 945 candle, closed just below my 638 level. That's when I mentioned to the group so far 638 did fail to hold that support, which it did when it closed below 638 on the 15-minute chart. From there, it rejected from 638, failed to recapture, and just push on downwards. Gave us a nice beautiful drop to the downside, hence the big body red candle. But we do have FOMC tomorrow. We have to keep in mind with FOMC tomorrow, it can be used as an excuse to do whatever the market makers want. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we get a big move in either direction. I'm not gonna be picky. Whatever the market makers want to do, I'm just gonna look to follow it using the levels and the setups. Another thing that we must note that's very important is that we actually closed below the 5 daily moving average. As you guys know, the 5 daily moving average has been holding and keeping the SPY up and heading to new highs. Although we have had some breakdowns of that moving average, but the next day we ended up getting recaptures of the moving average, false breakdown setup, and so far this year just about every false breakdown setup has led to new highs for the SPY. So that's why it's very important that we note that we actually closed below the 5 daily moving average today. Losing this moving average is step 1 to becoming bearish. Step 1 succeeded. So we need to watch out tomorrow. Will it recapture or will it defend as resistant? We're looking at it now. It's around a 635.5-ish level. Keep in mind, 635.5 is also a Fibonacci level. So for tomorrow, that would be a very important level to watch. Above it, we're going to be bullish because like I said, so far this year, almost every false breakdown of the 5 daily moving average has led to new highs. But if it can stay below the 5 daily moving average, that's going to be a change in behavior, because when it's bullish, it spends majority of its time above the 5 daily moving average and bouncing off of it. But when it starts getting bearish, it does the opposite. So remember, 5 daily moving average is lost officially. Will it show follow through with FOMC tomorrow? What will the market makers do? If they clear and recapture 635.5 and they happen to clear the 638 level, we are bullish and we are likely heading to new all-time highs, and there's a good chance we can break 640. But if we stay below 635.5, the breakdown of this fib level as well as the 5 daily moving average stays intact. Bearish follow through would be the breakdown 634, 632.7, 631.5, and the 630 level. I would not be surprised if we go and retest the 20 daily moving average, which is around 627-ish as of recording this video. So now we know the levels and now we know the setups. So I'm hoping with tomorrow we'll get some volatility and we can react to it unbiasedly and attract some money to our trading account. Moving on to QQQ, we did get a bit of a pullback. Yesterday we closed at 568.14. Today we closed at 567.26, just a little bit lower. However, we did gap up all the way and open around the 570.76 level, and then intraday we broke down 570 and 568. It was a very nice tradable move intraday, but it's still above the 5 daily moving average. Unlike SPY, QQQ is still closing above it and probably attempting to use it as a support, but we'll see tomorrow. The 5 daily moving average as of recording this is around the 566 level. If 566, 564.3 and 563 fail, especially 566, I'm going to be bearish on QQQ and favor some downside. I think we can get lower than 560 or at least a test of it as support. But if I'm going to be bullish and we do not not get bearish and break down the 566 level, I would need to see 568 recapture or clear tomorrow to hit 570, 572, and 573.5 above. Here is Tesla with an inside candle setups, one of my favorite setups for price action trading. We look at the mother candle's range. That is Monday's candle, and the range with the low of 315.6 and a high of 330.5. We watch the break of that range. Whatever range we break towards, that's where we want to bet towards. So I have support at 320.5, but the low is all the way down at 315.6. If we lose both those levels, that's when we want to be bearish and look for puts. And I think we can drop $10 to $15, maybe more, to the downside. But if we are to be bullish, I need to see a big pop back to the upside. Now the 5 daily moving average is around 320, so we need to get above, stay above 320. I have resistance at 323, 326, 328, and of course the high of the mother candle at 330.5. There is a fib level at 331.5 as well. So if we clear those levels, especially above 331.5, Uncle would be bullish and favor another $10 to $15 move to the upside. I would not be surprised if we actually break above the 341 level, and that is a breakout of this down green trend line. So below 320.5 and below 315.6 we are bearish, and above 330.5 and 331.5 we are bullish. Here is NVDA. Looks like it does want to pull back, but it did manage to hit that macro level, fib level I had around the 178.5ish level. Good for the bulls. So now that they hit that critical level, what do they want to do next? Is it pullback time? If it is pullback time, I will say they did manage to break down the 177 level, but they're still above the 5 daily moving average. So if it is truly pullback time, if it's truly time to be bearish, we need to get below that level, break down 174, and that would put 171 and 169 back in play. And below 169, there's a good chance we go back and hit this yellow trend line at 165.5. Below 165.5, I would definitely favor the bears being in control. But watch that 5 daily moving average, overall bullish above 174, and below 174, there's a good chance it's pullback time. Coin has been bearish, and I mentioned if we can stay below the 382 level, more downside would definitely be possible. We actually opened at 383.5ish, just above the 382 level, but intraday it broke it down, dropped all the way down, and closed right at my 78.6 fib level, which was at 371.6. If coin can stay below that level tomorrow, as well as break down 370, we are bearish. More downside is possible. 365, 363.4, and 362 or lower would be targets of mine. Now, when would I trust a bounce? Staying above 371.6 would be a good start, but I do have resistance at 373 and 375. If we can recapture those levels tomorrow, and there's a good chance we can possibly go back and hit that 382 level, as well as the 5 daily moving average. Keep in mind, it's pretty far extended from that moving average, so I would not be too surprised if coin decides to bounce a little bit just to retest that level. But as long as we are rejecting from that moving average, which you can see it is happening right now, Uncle is overall bearish. And last but certainly not least, here is IWM. Yesterday we broke down the 5 daily moving average for the first time in a little while, and today it definitely showed follow through, breaking down multiple levels. 223 was one of them. Now there is bearish follow through for tomorrow. 221.5, 220, both those levels must fail. It should send us down to 218 to the 216 zone. Definitely would be a beautiful move. But if with FOMC, depending on what gets reported, and if IWM decides to be bullish, they need to get back above 223 because that level was lost today. So a recapture 223 and a breakout of 225 would be your bullish sign that we are heading up higher. 227, 230 zone incoming. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember, we have FOMC tomorrow, so make sure you guys are trading very carefully. Risk on for that tomorrow. Play it safe and be ready for anything. You guys know the levels and the setups. Let's trade it unbiasedly. I believe in you guys, and always remember and believe that you are money magnets. We don't walk by sight here. We walk by faith. So believe. I love y'all. Peace.